Hello everyone, peace of Christ to all. This is our second podcast for today, and the topic today is going to be about um, Dr. Muhammad. Uh, Dr. Muhammad is a very famous man. He is the Prophet of Islam. This is a picture actually I took. I wanted to share with you. I love to take pictures, and I take always pictures which is unexpected. I have thousands of pictures actually. One of my hobbies is taking pictures. So I don't take pictures to spy. Don't take me wrong. I take a picture because I find people that are very interesting when they are unaware that somebody is taking picture of them. So anyway, this picture here for me present somehow like seeing those young guys jumping, present really the true spirit of life. That God, he wants us to be free, want us to be happy, and want us to be not under control of others. And whatever he gave us as rules is not to be controlling us, it's for our benefit. Like, as an example, restriction about having relationship with someone not lawful for you. It's proven to be, it's more healthy for you. It's for your benefit, because later you will be under the control of diseases. So I believe that God, he gave us, let us say, rules, but those rules is not to control us. It is to guide us. It's to free us from being under control. So always when I look at pictures like this, I say to myself, how beautiful it is really to be free, and how beautiful it is to jump on air and nobody is telling you what to do, what not to do. How beautiful it is to be who you are. Now, for sure, this the topic we talk about always, it is Islam, and it doesn't present really freedom in any way, in any mean. What always I see about this religion, that in this religion you are just a slave of somebody, you are captured by somebody, and you don't have really any kind of a freedom for anything. As we showed you before, this religion is a kind of religion will teach you what to do, what not to do, what to say, what not to say, and who you are, and will decide for you everything you do in your life is based on that religion. And there's no free will in Islam. And the most important thing, I believe, in the human being life is to have a free will. If you don't have the free will, you are not really a living creature. You are not. You're maybe an animal, maybe something. Actually, even animals have more free will, unless they are captured. So free will is very important, and you need always to look and to seek for the one who give you the free will. And I believe that this is the one, or the one who giving you the free will is the teaching of Christ, because always you will notice that the free will come first. Even when you do the will of God, it's based on the free will decision, which means you do not need to follow God if you don't want to, which means you don't want to be a believer, you don't be a believer. But as always we say, everything comes with a consequence. Like, you don't want to invest, don't invest, but later don't say why you lost. You don't want to if you have a fire in your house, you don't like to get out, okay, stay in, but don't complain later for being burned. So free will is very important in order to enjoy life. And Muhammad is a person who always talk too much, and the more who talk, or the more he talk, the more he says stupid things. So today we will share to you like together. This picture is not really the purpose of the video, don't take me wrong, all right? But I would try to share with you more of my pictures, the one I took always, I take when I go on trips, etc. So you guys, you can you can enjoy it with us. I'm not sure if the chat is working. Please let me know if it's working. If you can, if you know, I will consider that if nobody is chatting or nobody answering the hi I say, this means the chat is not working. I'm not sure really why. In case it's not working, why it's not. I need to figure it out. However, if you have a question and the chat is not working here, you can ask me in Facebook. So freedom is very important, and Islam does not provide the freedom for any. Actually, even imagine you want to discover something. Imagine as a scientist, the one who discovered the electricity for you. You don't have a freedom to think about it. Even imagine the scientist who who want to study the space. Somebody says to him it is forbidden to study the space. Like some they say to you that Galileo was killed by the church for saying the earth is the flat. This is an absolute lie. You can go and search the history and you will see that this is nothing but a fabrication. All right, have nothing to do with the true story of Galileo. Actually, the Bible is a book which says long time ago that the earth is not a flat. The earth is like a sphere, like a ball. So if Galileo he said the earth is a flat, he is not saying something against the Bible anyway, because the Bible confirmed clearly that. So this is one of the fabrications some people they come with and they claim. So today we will talk about science and how to free your mind, how to be like those young guys in the picture we see, how to be a person who knows how to think and how to free your mind from the control of someone like Muhammad. How you can be a person who will not be driven by others and controlled by the mind of others. How I can be a person who think, make decision, be wise, and don't let anyone think for me. It's very important that you don't let people think for you. It's extremely important. Maybe sometime you have someone, he is someone you trust, and you know that he will never betray you, and he is more expert, so you ask him to make a decision for you. I don't think this is a good idea. Even if you know that he is the perfect person to give a decision, you should be the one who make decision, and he should be the advisor in this case. Try always to be a person who is independent in taking decision and think wisely, and don't let someone always or someone control where to go. One of the things about, or let us say the beautiful things about life, that we learn from mistakes. And the mistakes we are talking about is not the deadly mistakes, which means because there's some mistakes are deadly. There's some kind of mistakes you cannot do them twice. You do it once and you're gone. You're dead. All right. Or like you make a mistake, you want to go and do robbery. You want to steal money. You want to get rich fast. You make a decision to get rich fast, and then you find yourself, you end in dead, and you spend maybe the rest of your life in jail. So you have to make the right decision, the wise decision, and your own decision. Don't let people think for you. Today we will talk about science, and I look at science in different way as always. Science does not exist unless you believe in it, and science will not exist unless there is a scientist who believes in it. So believing in something is very important to make it exist. And actually sometimes people who believe in something that exists, because of their belief, that thing became exist. In other way, if you believe in a lie, the lies exist. Even that thing is not exist, what you believe in, but because you believe in it, it became exist at least for you. So believing in something is very important to accomplish that thing. If I want to believe in a freedom, I want to believe in the freedom of thinking before freedom of jumping. You see, this is what you see in front of you right now, is a freedom of jumping. I jump. But where is the thinking? It's not there yet. So am I free to think the way I'm free to jump? If I am free to think, that means I have a healthy life. I'm following a healthy tradition or healthy, let us say, lifestyle. If I am a believer in God, I'm following simply someone can be trusted, because he don't prevent me from using my brain, because this is what the brain is exist for, to use it and to think. So let us see what the topic today, and what we are trying to talk about in this broadcast. You see, Muhammad, who claimed to be a prophet of God, the more he talk, the more he make mistakes, as we said before. And because he always make mistakes, those mistakes can be deadly. This guy, simply, he cannot keep his mouth shut. He liked to talk. And the more he talk, the more things go crazy. And today we will study one of the talks of Muhammad and see how those crazy things come with his speeches. And that's why actually I called the video today the name Dr. Muhammad, this Dr. Allah. Dr. Muhammad, this Dr. Allah. This is the book of Al-Bukhari, Sahih Al-Bukhari. All right, and this is the book name. And this is the hadith number in front of you in the screen. All right, I'm making the screen big so you guys can read it clearly. Here we go. The Prophet said, the keys of the unseen are 5. So there's 5 things that Muhammad is speaking wisdom now. This is wisdom, take notes. The keys of the unseen are 5. I want you to remember here, when Muhammad he says the unseen is something you cannot see, supposedly, but only God knows. This is what is unseen in the term of religion in Islam. So unseen is not about a guy you don't see, a friend you miss him, a brother he passed away, or someone he went to China and you live in America. No, this is not the unseen. The unseen, it presents the unknown. All right. So unseen present the unknown, not someone you don't see no more or you cannot see but you know. So it's something you have no knowledge of, and it will happen, but in the future, and then because of that you have no knowledge of it. So it presents an event in the future, or a person or something will happen in the future, and this is why it's called the unseen. Now, the unseen are 5, and none knows but Allah. So what is you see the connection now? The unseen is are 5, and none knows what those unseen except Allah. So don't try to say there's someone else knows. None knows. This is number 1. For sure, in Arabic, there's nothing is like 1, 2, 3, 4 as they put it here in the Hayy translation. In Arabic, it says مفاتيح الغيب 5 لا يعلمها إلا الله. The keys of unseen is 5, and no one knows but Allah. All right. Now, let us see one by one. None knows the sex that is in the womb, which means when your wife she is a pregnant, nobody can know. There's no way to know what is the sex of the baby. Only Allah knows. Now, you see, when somebody claims to be a prophet of God, and he says something like this, I have actually no problem with it if it is about you know, a logical thing. Like if I say in the time of Muhammad, if I say, well, nobody knows what is the baby gender, save God, I'm not exaggerating. I think this is truthful, and there's no problem with it. But remember, Muhammad, according to Muslims, the Quran says, وَمَا هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَى, which means whatever the Prophet he says is inspiration from God. So when Muhammad he say this, he is not making a speech, he is saying what God is saying to him. He is not making an assumption, he is telling you facts about God. How you know God? God is the one who knows those 5 things. This is what the statement is about. It's not about really a person, because a Muslim might say to you, well, at that time it was really nobody knows save God. All right. So there is no mistake here. No, because Muhammad is speaking about things nobody will know ever. It's not about a certain time. This is keys. You see, this is why it's called keys. All right. Actually, in Arabic, here we go. Actually, the translate in English, the keys of unseen. So the one who hold those keys is Allah. So those are keys. Those are not just a figure of speech to say in that time you cannot know. So those keys in the hand of Allah, nobody will ever have them. Knowing the gender in the womb, well, we've proven that this is not true. You can know the gender of the baby in the womb very easy, in 2 or 3 minutes. So the first, this is obviously a false prophecy. The second false prophecy, none knows what will happen tomorrow but Allah. So what will happen tomorrow, it's hard to believe anyone knows what will happen. This is true and wrong, because I can say to you what will happen tomorrow if I decide to do it myself. If I know if an action of somebody will do something. However, I believe Muhammad, he don't mean that. Muhammad, he mean that generally speaking, the one who know the future is Allah. So we will let this one go. But here Muhammad, he go more in trouble. None knows when it will rain but Allah. That is a problem, because we know that today we can know in a week or even sometime 2 weeks in advance the weather. They warn you the storm is coming, they track the storm, they tell you the speed of the wind, they know even the size of the storm, they know what the temperature will be, they know how much rain is going to happen. So when Muhammad he says no one know when the rain will come, that's obviously is a false prophecy. It is extreme false prophecy. And remember, here we are not talking about somebody giving a figure of speech. He is talking about keys in the hand of Allah which nobody has. Those things only Allah has and only Allah know. This is why I don't know if any of you have ever heard an Islamic TV station. Actually, Islamic TV station don't provide weather news. It's haram. It's haram. Now, if one of those TV stations, let's say in countries like in Saudi Arabia, they have to provide, like let's say the government one, for the benefit of the citizen and their safety, they do weather news. You will see the guy in the weather station, he will say, tomorrow, if Allah will, it's going to rain if Allah wants. Inshallah. And inshallah, if Allah want, is going to be, this wind will go high if Allah want. He have to add if Allah want to avoid being killed. Because if he say tomorrow is going to rain, it's mean he is saying Muhammad is a liar and Allah is not God, and I know what Allah do not know. So the weather news in the Middle East is one of the most funny weather news ever you can imagine. To the point they have to add inshallah, inshallah behind every saying, everything they say. The speed of the wind tomorrow might go up to 30 miles an hour, inshallah. By saying inshallah, which means by Allah will, you know, he's like cleaning his hand from responsibility, from claiming that he know tomorrow. Now the Muslims are hypocrites, and they know that he is telling what tomorrow will happen. Hello, obviously this is what the news is about. But because they are hypocrites, they know that they need the weather news. They know that it's important to have weather news, so they can prepare themselves for what will happen tomorrow. They allowed it in their TV station, but they just add the word inshallah just to silence the mouth of those says who this guy is claiming to know, how he know, you know, are he a believer or not? Obviously he is not, because he claimed that they know what nobody knows except Allah. Then none knows where he will die but Allah. None knows where he will die. Actually, this is very strange, because Muhammad, he said in the Quran that if Muhammad he die or get killed, if Muhammad he die or get killed, the Quran says that obviously because Muhammad himself, which supposedly he speak that his God saying that to him, they do not know if Muhammad is going to die or he will be killed. This is why the verse in the Quran says, if Muhammad he die, which means normal death, or get killed. If Allah he knows, if he is a true God, he should say Muhammad. When Muhammad get killed, that will be a prophecy, and when it happened, that's really good, because simply how he know that Muhammad will get killed? Nobody can guarantee the future. Nobody knows what will happen to him. But Muhammad, because he do not know really how his life will end, so he come with a solution saying, well, if Muhammad he die or Muhammad he killed or he got killed. If you go to chapter 3 verse number 144, it says, وَمَا مُحَمَّدٌ إِلَّا رَسُولٌ قَدْ خَلَتْ مِنْ قَبْلِهِ الرُّسُلُ فَإِنْ مَاتَ أَوْ قُتِلَ. Muhammad is nothing but a messenger who all messengers before him pass away. So if he die or get killed, ask yourself a question. Why Allah saying if he die or get killed? If he die or get killed, you will switch, which means you will become apostate. You will leave Islam. All right? You will not be believers, because he knows he forced them into this religion. So he's saying, well, Muhammad is just a prophet who all prophets before him pass away. So if he die or he got killed, why Allah don't provide us with the right prophecy about how Muhammad exactly his life will end? Can't he say to us? Can't Allah provide us with the right answer? Let me show you the verse in the screen, so we can read it together. All right, and show you how Muhammad he just did shoot himself in the foot by saying that. Okay, we go here. I know the screen now is off, so don't worry. I will just show it to you when it is there. And all right, let us go back here and share the screen. Look like the chat is not working still. I'm not sure really why. What is the real reason? So if we go here, Which verse it is? All right. Actually, here, you see, this is what Muhammad is quoting from the hadith. He is the one who have the keys of unseen. You see, this is in the Quran. And Muhammad, he was counting what is unseen. All right. And with him are the keys of the invisible. None know them. So those five things which we were counting, if you have them, it's mean you are God. And those keys, all of them, you none of have that, which mean you cannot have any of those keys. You cannot tell what is inside the womb of the woman. You cannot tell what, when it's going to rain, and you cannot tell what will happen tomorrow, etc. Now here, if we go back, here we go. Chapter 3, verse 144. And we can choose any translation you want of your choice, which all of them are the same, fabricated. Muhammad no more than a messenger. Many were the messengers, actually not many, all of them, false translation, were the messengers that pass away. The reason they use the word many, because that will cause them a problem, because if all of them they pass away, then what is about Jesus? That will be a contradiction. So the fact it is all of them they pass away. Actually, let me show you in different translation. This is Yusuf Ali, the Shakir. See, you see how translation change? Where is the word many? Where's the word many is gone? And Muhammad is no more than apostle. The apostle have already passed away before him, all of them, all prophets, all messengers, they pass away. There's no word many, but because this will contradict the story of Jesus for being alive, for how Jesus is alive in heaven right now, and then you say to me, all the messengers of Allah, they pass away before him, before Muhammad, which means no one left before Muhammad. Then if he die, or if he dies or killed, you will turn back upon your heels. All right, imagine I say to you, especially you are a person who go to war, or you are a soldier or policeman, if you die or get killed or have car accident, or you get sick from a disease, or I put all the options, and that will make me God? How come Allah cannot make a decision and tell us how Muhammad will die? Especially Muhammad, he did not die normal death, he died by poison. So the one who made the verse, obviously, he is trying to cover the future by saying if he die or get killed, which means whatever happen is going to be fine. If he say only if he die and then he got killed, Muhammad, he was worried he might get killed. He killed many people, he have many enemy. One of them might seek revenge, and this is exactly what happened. So he said, what if Muhammad, he die or get killed? But in the hadith it says that only Allah knows how you and when you will die. But as you see, Allah himself do not know when Muhammad he will die and how he will die. We go to number 4. None who knows where he died. Actually, this is done actually. Now number 5. None knows when the hour will be established. Hold on. Hold on. Do Allah really knows where the judgment hour will happen? Do he know? Let us see the Quran. We go to the Quran. And we go in chapter 54, verse number 1. This is a very well-known verse. The Muslim, they speak about the split of the moon. I'm sure all of you heard of it. right? But actually, this verse is a disaster. First of all, this verse is stolen from an Arabian poetry man. He is a Christian, and Muhammad, he put it as a part of his Quran, which in Arabic it says ذات الساعة وانشق القمر عن غزال شاق قلبي ففطر. You know, I forgot the rest of the poetry. It's really long. So Muhammad, he took it, he put it in his Quran. But that guy, when he said the poetry, he wasn't talking about the moon, the real moon. He's talking about his girlfriend, the one he loved. When he see her, it's like if the moon go split from his jealousy because she is more beautiful than the moon in the middle of the night. As if the judgment day is near, is happening. So it was a very beautiful poetry actually about a man describing the beauty of his you know, the girl he loved. But if you think about this story here, you will see there's a mistake. There's a bad mistake, actually a horrible mistake. The hour of the judgment day actually is night, or it's happening, and the moon is a splendor, or the moon is a split. Now when Muhammad, he said, I support this is God, that the judgment day is happening, is that truthful, or this was a false prophecy? I'm going to show you all the translations so you don't say I'm picking up my cherries. Obviously the judgment day is not happening, which means this is a false prophecy. Secondly, there's no moon splitting. If the moon is split, you see a crack. If we have a crack, the earth is full of cracks, by the way. The Titanic plate, those are cracks, but doesn't mean the earth is split. So the moon is split. In Arabic it says in shaq, which means became apart, cracked, in the way of splitting. So obviously this is a false prophecy. There's no judgment day is happening, and there's no moon splitting, and this was 1400 years ago, and yet he says to us nobody knows when the judgment day is going to happen. But yet Allah, he cannot maintain his prophecy. He said the moon split and judgment day just a draw, and is very close. Because when you say that the moon split, it's mean you are talking about the judgment day started. Is not, you know, the moon is split, and what is next? Supposedly the moon is splitting is about the judgment day started. You are not reporting for me a space event or something, you know, like astronomy scientist. He is telling me exactly that this is judgment day. What is the proof of the judgment day? That the moon is split. So the splitting of the moon was not happening for let us say an accident. It was something happening for a very simple reason. Judgment day is here. Judgment day started. And this is again proof to me that Muhammad is a false prophet. This guy, he is talking about something, claim that he know, but in reality he have no idea what he's talking about. He want to tell us that judgment day is near, but he have no idea when the judgment day is going to be. And he said that 1400 years ago, until now no judgment day happening, and the moon is fine. The moon is very fine. So obviously this is a false prophecy from a false prophet, and nothing strange when false prophet, he claimed to be a prophet. The naive one, they don't think and they accept the false prophet or whatever he say. It doesn't matter really what you say. You know, naive one, they take it. You know, you can lie as much as you want. Blindly they are driven. Nobody want to think, okay, you know what, this guy, he told me judgment day is near, and here we go, we are 1400 years after, and still there's no judgment day and nothing happening, and no science confirm anything about moon splitting. And you know what, if the moon split for a second, the earth will be destroyed, because the earth is going to grab one of the half of the moon, and maybe the other half will go to the sun, because the moon will lose its balance. You see, the moon, it is there in that location specifically because of its mass weight. It's the size and the weight of this planet. So if you change it, it's not going to stay there. Especially you are saying split, which means two pieces. So one of the two pieces, I assume the smaller one or the bigger one, or maybe the one facing the earth, it doesn't matter, is going to come and hit the earth, and the earth will be destroyed, and the moon will not stay there. So it's a false prophecy, false assumption, and false talk about judgment day and astronomy, which is not true. He just took it from a poetry. He saw the eclipse, he thought that this is judgment day, and he took the poetry of the man, he put it in his Quran, and he told them, okay, you know what, judgment day is coming, and where you go, what you will do, all right, you better follow me, you better accept me before it's too late. Judgment day is coming. So when in this hadith here, he mentioned that nobody knows, number one, the sex of the gender of the baby, but Allah. No one knows what will happen tomorrow. No one knows when it's going to rain. No one knows when he will die, and none knows when the our establishment, you know, 4 up to 5, like this one here, we cannot prove anything about Allah actually here until now, all right, but I have a verse for it to prove Allah even in this one to be false. But let us finish our first those topics, and we will go back here. All of them Allah he failed with no exception. And now I want to show you a contradiction. He just said that none knows the sex of the baby. There's no way to know. All this is only Allah knows, right? Then we go to the hadith and we see this disaster. I'm not going to read the whole thing, it's funny, it's stupid. I'm going to put it in the info later, so you guys, you can read it by your own. Simply the story here, a bunch of Jews, they came to Muhammad, as always they make fun of him, but without saying we are making fun of you, and they ask him a question about 3 questions, like what is the first meal people will eat when they enter heaven, all right, what the first breakfast, as you see. And he told them the kidney of the whale. You see, the translation is not this. Why I don't like Muslim translation. They say the fish liver. There's nothing. It's called the fish there. It is the whale, al-hut. All right. Now, then they ask him how we know the baby will be a male or a girl. All right. How we will know? Like, if there's a way to know who is the baby, how the baby will be. Muhammad, he came with an answer, and you know, Muhammad, he answered actually all their questions, and supposedly this Jewish guy, he converted to Islam after he heard the answer. I have come to ask you about the child. He, the Holy Prophet, said, actually, we can go back to see the question about the child. It's here. Let us see, where is the child story here? Anyway, the question is simple. It's like, you know, how the child will become a male or female, how we know the gender. All right. So Muhammad, he gave him the answer, and he said, the reproductive substance of the man is white, that of the women You see here, what you see between two brackets is not exist. So shut it up. Take it off. It's not exist. This is why actually between two brackets. Because they're trying to cover the shame of their prophet. Because women, they don't have a reproductive substance, and the yellow liquid the women she have nothing to do with the sperm. This is not a sperm. This is not a sperm. This is a kind of a lotion the body provide to ease the sex relationship. The same as the man have the same, you know, thing. It is like a lotion, natural lotion, to ease it when they have sex together. But this is have nothing to do with the reproduction. There's nothing is called for women. There's yellow reproduction. What reproduction? When we are talking about reproduction, you know, like if you read in Arabic, just to show you how Muslim they lie, he say ma or rajul abyad. He's talking about the sperm. The water of the man is white. The water of the man is white. He's not talking about his piss. We're talking about him, a man and women having sex. So the water of the man is white, and the water of the woman is yellow. And then Muhammad, he continue saying what he mean by that. Let us see. So the women water is yellow, and when they have sexual intercourse and the male substance, here shut it in the garbage. You see, they are trying to cover the shame. What are chromosomes? What are you talking about? In the time of Muhammad, there is a chromosome. Unbelievable. All right. When the male substance prevails upon the female substance, it is male. Child. Now, with all the deception they are trying to do by adding those things, is that true? Is that true? Is it the water of the women is the one who decide the baby will be a baby, a girl? Because here he's saying if the male substance, actually here, by the way, it doesn't say that in Arabic. It says وَإِذَا عَلَى مِنِيُّ الْمَرْأَةِ مِنِيُّ الرَّجُلِ, which means if she come first, if the women she come first. Actually, we can show you the same hadith in different story. You will see it says the one who come first, the one who have orgasm first. Let us make it more clear. All right. So the one who have orgasm first, he will decide who is the baby, is going to be a male or female. But this is absolutely false. This is absolutely false. This is a false prophet talking. The sperm of the man is the one who decide. There's one sperm will survive, will swim all the way to the egg, will enter the egg, and then inside the egg is going to dissolve, let us say, the DNA message, and it's going to be the one who decide if the egg will be male or female. It's not the water of the women. Have nothing to do who come first. Have nothing to do with the water of the women is yellow or white. This is all is a false fiction. But you know what? I will go with it. Let us say, for the sake of argument, Muhammad here was wrong, was right. Let us assume that all of this was right and Muhammad was not wrong, you know, which proven him to be a false prophet. So for the sake of argument, I will say this is true. Let's go back. This is true. Let us say this was right. And forget about Muhammad here. The proof we provide you that Muhammad is a false prophet, because this is alone is enough to prove that he is false. But isn't this is a contradiction for the other hadith where he says nobody knows what is the gender of the baby? You are telling me here that if the man have orgasm first, the baby will be a girl. If the women have orgasm first, the baby will be a girl. If the man have orgasm first, the baby will be a boy. You just told me what the gender, but you just told me in the other hadith here that nobody knows what the womb of the woman will carry, what the gender will be. And just to show you the hypocrisy of the Abduls when they translate any hadith, all right, I will show you in front of your eyes. Here we go. The water of the man is thick and white, and the water of the women is yellow and thin. Whichever come first, the child will resemble it. So this is the story here, complete the other story. When we talk about resemble, he talk about is going to be a baby girl or a baby boy. So it's about who come first, not the chromosome and betatom and satamom and this false fiction they add between two brackets just to fool you. So according to Muhammad, if you come first, the baby, you will decide what the baby will be. But you just told me in the other hadith that nobody knows what is going to be in the womb. I can go right now, have sex with my wife, and I will let her have orgasm first, and then I will know the baby will be a girl. I know, even I can decide even before we have sex. We will agree I will not have orgasm. You have it. The baby will be a girl. That's it. But you are here saying to me, none knows the sex of the baby. You see the fiction of this prophet? How amazing it is. Now, there is one more issue. We did not talk about it yet. None knows what will happen tomorrow. We prove all of them are already false. Remember, except this one yet, we did not. Actually, we prove it when we spoke about Muhammad, how he will die, right? Because he mentioned here how he will die. But I will give you one more proof. None knows what will happen tomorrow. All right. In the Quran, there is a verse speak about Muslims. They went to war. Allah, he promised the Muslims if they go to war, they will win. So you will win even if there's 100 of you is fighting against 1,000. Look what the verse saying. This is a chapter 8. Did you make it big? Chapter 8, verse number 65. Remember, nobody knows what will happen tomorrow. Save Allah. Well, do Allah knows really? Let us see. 8:65. You can take any translation you want, which I said always, they are always all are the same garbage. All right. In this verse, Allah is promising that all you believers, 20 of you steadfast, they shall overcome 200. 20 to 200. This is what Allah talking. He's telling them about the war, the coming war. What will happen? 20 to 200, which means 10 to every 100, which means 1 to 10. The Muslim, they went to the war, they lost. Right away when they came, Muhammad, he was waiting for them with a shame. They want to say to him like, Muhammad, how this happened? How look like we have here. All right, I don't know how to control this. How this happened? How Muhammad, he says such a thing that 100 will win against 1,000, and then people, they go to war and they lose. What happened to Allah? He was listening to the wrong weather news. He just told us nobody knows what will happen tomorrow save Allah. Well, here we go. Allah, He sent the Muslims to war. He promised them 100 to win against 1,000. But those Muslims, they go and they lose. And then look what Allah He says to them. Now has Allah lightened your burden, for He knew that there is a weakness on you. Oh, He don't know before the weakness? You tell them here 100 will win against 1,000 and they go to war, they are beaten and they lose, and now you are telling him he found a weakness on you? You can change the translation if you don't like the translation. All right. Hey Prophet, rouse the believers, encourage them to fight. If there is a 20 amongst you with patient preserving, they will vanquish 200. If 100, they will vanquish 1,000 of the unbelievers. The verse after, right away, the disaster happened. The prophecy was false. For the present, Allah has enlightened your task, for He knows that there is a weak spot on you. But even so, if there are 100 of you with patient preserving, they will vanquish 200. Well, there's a huge difference here. This verse here saying that 100 will fight 1,000. And by the way, both they have the same conditions, patient and preserving. So if you have patient and preserving, 100 will fight 1,000. Here, if you have patient and preserving, you will find, here we go, patient and preserving, you will vanquish 100 to 200. Nothing changed except the numbers. Patient and preservation, you are a person with patient, you will win. 100 to 1,000 did not happen. The verse after, Allah, He found that He cannot make it this way. It was an exaggeration and He was exposed. Oh, so I just found a weakness on you. So Allah do not know their weakness? When Allah He says, I found a weakness on you, I found a weak spot on you, was Allah aware of the weak spot before they go to war? Or just He got the news, somebody sent him a WhatsApp message? So when Muhammad says nobody knows what will happen tomorrow, that's obviously false. Obviously, because he cannot talk about his Allah. Allah do not know. And this is proven in their books. And look how big the mistake is. You see, when you say 1 against 10, and then you make it 5 against 10, that means the margin of error was 90%, because you thought 1 to 10 is enough when it's supposed to be 1 to 2. At least we can say 50% wrong. That's a huge error happening here, and obviously there is something wrong in this. So always we need to know, or we need to remember, that when a Muslim he speak about let me share the screen again. Look like the screen was not sharing for some reason. When the Prophet of Islam he says, my God, Allah is the one who knows, and then we find the Quran saying clearly that is God, he have no idea, and the verses confirm that. A God he promised such a promise, and later we find out that the promise is not really accurate. This is obviously a madness. Sorry guys, I'm a little bit confused about how to use this. Sometimes the thing is switching. I'm not sure why. All right, so this is the pages in the front of you. This is the verses of the Quran in front of you. So I like the reason I wanted to show this with you is to prove to you that Muhammad cannot be a prophet in any way, in any mean. Everything this guy he say, it's a lie. We know the gender of the baby before his birth, and even himself he told us how to know the gender of the baby, which is absolutely false lie too, because you have an orgasm first before your wife have nothing to do with who is going to be having orgasm first. That's absolutely nothing but a lie. What the baby have to do with the orgasm? What if you, what if you know, you never heard, like there's women, they never have orgasm, but they have still girls and boys. Most of Muslim women actually, they never have orgasm because they do circumcision for them, so they cannot reach to any pleasure of sex. So they do circumcision for them, and then you say to me that women, if she have orgasm first, the baby will be a girl. Do the women have orgasm in Islam anyway? This is why I say that the more a fool man talk, the more he expose himself. And I believe now we cover all the points we have in this issue here regarding the 5 keys of unseen. And now we have 5 keys to expose Muhammad as a false prophet 5 times from using his 5 keys. So I hope people, they took notes and they learn how to expose the prophet and his God with 5 keys. And I hope we are going to use his own keys to open doors for Muslims, to show them the false prophet and the false God and the false religion, and to prove to them that this religion is nothing but a fiction and nothing have to do with science and nothing have to do with anything real. But the most funny part I see in this story here, that he says to you nobody know the sex of the baby, and later he he tell us a story that a man, a Jewish man, told him how we know the gender is going to be male or female, and then he says to you if the man have orgasm first will be a baby boy, when he just said nobody will knows the gender of the baby. You see how did he contradict himself? This man is mad. He don't even maybe remember what he said before. And I'm sure many Muslims, they read both stories, but because they don't, nobody want to investigate, nobody want to think deep, they just read it and let it go. How you tell me nobody knows what is the gender of the baby will be, and then you answer the Jew, you say to him, no, we know what the gender will be, and we know exactly how it's going to happen, the one who come first and the one who come after. I hope you did enjoy this video, guys. Thank you very much, and don't forget to subscribe and invite your friends to subscribe to my new page. My old page in YouTube is still functioning, but this is the new one, so please subscribe to it and share with us. Thank you, and God bless for the coming podcast. Let me do that.